we are back again, another Radio K interview, and I am joined here today by
Young D3mz.
Uche B.
Young D3mz, Uche B. Thank you guys so much for being here today. How's Austin been so far? I know we talked a little bit about some sightseeing, some barbecue. What have been the best parts so far?
No, it's been fun. Like, this is my first time in America. Our first time in Texas, Austin. So definitely like a culture shock. We've been out, just looking around. I don't know the names of all the places, I'll be honest, but I did go get some barbecue at Black's, right? Yeah.
Black's.
And then we went to, was it Rudy's?
Rudy's, yeah. I was about to mention that. There's a really dope barbecue spot. We went to yesterday. It was really dope. I think that's like my number one for Austin right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're from Ghana, and Nigeria respectively. So we like grilled meat. For sure, yeah. So now it's cool. Nice city. It's raining right now, but when we came, it was sunny. So
Right.
definitely different from where we're from. So yeah.
And likewise, because we're from up north, so it's a lot of snow and cold. So this is a nice change of pace, even if it is cloudy today. But appreciate you guys being here. Looking forward to performances coming up tonight. What's that gonna look like? What are you looking to perform? Yeah.
I mean, I have my catalog that's out there. I'm gonna do a couple of songs from there, but I'm also gonna do songs off of my next tape, my next EP, before the sun comes down. Uche executive produced it, and he's now my DJ. It's our first gig together,
Okay.
so it's a very interesting first moment for us, as a team. So now we're looking forward to it. New songs is always like watching the reaction of people and
Right.
how they feel about it. It's definitely interesting to see. So, yeah.
Well, and speaking of reactions, if you're the DJ tonight, you're kind of setting the tone. What goes into a DJ set for you? What do you look for? Is it more your personal liking, or is it songs the crowd might be into?
Yeah, probably. I guess the first thing that comes first would be like my personal liking, songs I really like, and songs I think the crowd would like as well. But I would say we have good taste in this team, so I really trust what I'm about to drop, set the tone for him before it comes out. Probably some African influence songs, some amapiano here and there, so the beat's gonna drop really hard for the people, yeah. So I mean, that's how I think I'm going to set the tone for the people. Then he comes on and does his thing, and we kill it.
Yeah.
And so I'd love to hear the origin story of you guys meeting, because like we were just talking about off camera, you guys had created that EP Girls Like You together.
Yeah.
Was that the first time you guys had met, or have you guys known each other for a while?
Let them answer this.
Yeah, I mean, most of my friends in the music industry are like producers, because I started out as a producer.
Right.
So, Uche was like a colleague, somebody that I started working with more closely during the Corona period.
Sure.
We formed like a little group chat just to keep each other busy. And we started dropping like beats in the group chat, and then every once in a while we'd all give ideas as to how this song would sound. And then I was like, let me just sing it.
Yeah.
Let me just sing the stuff. We're bored, we're producers, there's nothing going on, everything is locked down.
Yeah.
Let's just make a tape, I'll be the artist. Everybody was like, yeah. So we just put 5 beats in the group chat, 5 songs with my guy Boy the Genius. And together we just came up with that tape, we put it out, and everyone was like, hey, yo,
Yeah.
this is actually slaps.
Yeah.
So yeah, we decided to continue our duo, working together on like future projects and stuff. But Girls Like You was really the conception, of me even taking like myself seriously as an artist. So it was definitely a crazy experience to do that remotely, not meeting each other.
Right.
So it was crazy. Yeah.
We actually did that all online, like via WhatsApp chat. I send the beat, he sends the vocals over and all that. I don't know if he remembers. He was a producer as well, like creating like crazy bangers and everything with Kwesi Arthur in Ghana, right? And I was like, yo, this is a really dope, producer. And I had one of my guys called Scanty. He played me one of his few unreleased songs he was working on before anyone knew about him being a singer. So when I heard that, I was like, yo, we could actually try something with this guy, and the lockdown happened, Corona happened, and I mean from there we're here now. So
Right.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And what seems attractive maybe also from you like drawing either artists or producers in is the amount of culture you were able to get through going to international school, correct? And kind of like bringing in sounds, viewpoints, and perspectives from all around the world.
Yeah, that's funny that you know that, because like I went to a very interesting like school.
Yeah.
It's like 150 different nationalities.
It was in London, right?
No, it was in Uganda.
Oh, okay.
Uganda, yeah, and I went to one in Zambia as well.
Okay.
So it was pretty much like a piece of culture everywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my best friend at some point was from Bangladesh, one's from Sri Lanka, one's from the UK.
Yeah.
You know, the US, Lebanon. You can't be normal. You
Right.
can't even talk
Right.
like a normal person, because everyone around you is just different.
Yeah.
So no, it was cool to go to an environment like that. It definitely like made me more tolerant as well of people and their cultures, and eventually leads to music, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they don't listen to Ghanaian music, they listen to maybe American, listen to Lebanese, so we share. I have some of my friends from like back then who listen to my music from Ghana just because I listen to it, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, no, it's a very heavy influence. That's what makes it easy for me to come out here and make music, because like,
Yeah.
I also understand what it is that people like, so I know how to mix it with what's back home, and then, you know, make it feel like
Right.
easy on the ears, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah.
You're very. I think you've even mentioned this. You're adaptable. You're almost like a chameleon in that sense, where you can
Yeah.
kind of work with anyone. Yeah.
And because like I grew up in that environment too, I can kind of relate to things, you know, like popular culture and stuff from different countries, just
Mhm.
tidbits, you know,
Sure.
enough
Yeah.
to just like vibe with people. So it helps also with like my fans. I never have to restrict myself thinking like, oh, I can't vibe with those people. Nah, like anyone is my fan to me. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you know.
What's cool is they can maybe expect the unexpected from you too, and like learn to like that a lot too. So I know you, as starting out as a producer, self-taught for the most part, which always blows my mind, because like you were saying, even over the course of the pandemic, I would try to give it a shot on like GarageBand, and man, I was so bad. Are you also self-taught, or what was your self-taught as well? Starting on FL Studio, what's the first place that a lot of producers start, and where do you go from there? Is it just trial and error?
I guess it's FL Studio, because
Yeah.
it's more like user friendly.
Sure.
Before you can move on to like your logics and maybe your reasons and all that. It's basically from FL Studio. I started off probably like some years ago. I don't want to mention it because you guys might think I'm an old head. I'm not really an old head. I started producing about almost 10 years ago. It was just just playing around with the software, and as time went on, you could feel like this is something for you. So you just go on and continue researching and everything, and it comes together. By the time you're really good at it. So that's how I started.
Same with you, kind of just a time element.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I used to be like an instrumentalist in my school band. I used to play at church,
Okay.
play guitar. So, like, I was just interested in music in general. And sometimes I see videos of Ryan Leslie, Metro Boomin, Kanye West, Kill Beats, making beats like on YouTube.
Sure.
And I'll be like, man, I feel like I could do this, like low key. So same thing, I got like the cracked version of FL from a homie.
Yeah.
I was in boarding school.
Yeah.
We didn't have much to do
Yeah.
except just study. So I was like, yeah, screw it. Let's see what one. And because I already know music, because I play in a band, in my head it's just like, you guys just add the drums here and
Yep.
all that. So yeah, that's how I figured it out. And eventually, I got pretty good at it. Because I had bandmates, they'll help me out. Like, nah, you have to do the drums like this or the chords like this to make it sound like this. I'm like, okay, bet. Yeah, after a couple of years,
And you were citing some influences. I gotta throw in John Mayer in there too, only because I've heard you mention that as
man.
well.
Okay, so like lyrically as an artist, yeah, I love John Mayer.
That's
Like,
awesome.
I don't know why. It's just
Yeah.
it's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, yeah,
Just own
John
it.
Mayer
Yeah.
slaps. Low key, late at night,
Yeah.
you're just chilling. Maybe some girl did you bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Put on some John Mayer,
I mean,
bro.
that's why he has like lyrics like that, though. I mean,
Right.
him-
It comes into the music.
Facts.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, actually, you didn't think about that, though.
Damn, man.
Like,
I love John Mayer. How did you know that? This guy's like Nardwar.
yeah.
But I am really curious too about your producer to artist arc, and if that was kind of like a scary thing to go into, or like I guess you were kind of saying with Girls Like You is just kind of like, I'll hop on this track, like that sounds kind of fun. Were you confident in your voice, or was it hard to get to that point, or like from an artist perspective?
Man, like, I actually did struggle a bit. Because even after Girls Like You, I still didn't really feel like I had an artist's voice.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just, it felt a little awkward to me, and I think that's just because of just the imposter syndrome
Right.
every
right.
creative kind of has once in a while. But no, like it was a natural process because me, when I'm in the studio and I'm working with an artist, I don't tend to just sit back and just watch things happen. I would be like, try this harmony, and I'll sing it for
Yeah.
them.
Okay.
So after a while
Okay.
of doing that, you kind of build a small practice of like using your voice.
Mhm.
I just didn't know it was there. These guys, they pushed me. Like they were telling me to do melodies that
Okay.
I couldn't even like think of doing on a normal day. But then when I did it, I'm like, oh, I can actually do it. And then I started doing like vocal training.
Okay.
You know, on YouTube, I knew a couple of vocal trainers from the time I used to play in bands. So I would be like, I need help, you know, figuring these kind of runs out. And yeah, you know, people would help out. So it was a tough process, but like it was a fun one
Mhm.
because it was pretty much part of the way I make music already. It's just now, you know, it's kind of like a coach going on the pitch.
You're right.
You know
right.
what I mean? Like, yeah, he knows what he's doing, but it's just getting used to the skill of it is
Yep.
different. Yeah.
And it helps to have other producers in the mix that are helping you and pushing you, right?
Yeah, facts. And also, don't forget, he's also a producer, and he's
Yeah.
still a producer. You know, like, you know, he still works with like, you know, the big names and everything. So it kind of makes my work easier as well, because I mean, I do some things like, nah, this could sound like this, and he does it himself, and he sends it back to me. So it kind of is really easy, you know, working with him as well. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. The fact that I'm sure from a producer's perspective, and I'm sure you could see this too, like if an artist is just an artist and doesn't have that producing background, I'm sure it's a lot harder to kind of get on the same page. But if they have that producing background, like I'm sure that's awesome. Like that's a really nice tool to have.
No, like it has saved me so much knowing what I do, because like even when I go into conversations with sometimes labels, they're like, you are dangerous, man, because you know how to do like the writing and you know.
Right.
So it's like no, it's definitely a skill to have, but also now we're realizing that when we go to the studio with an artist that doesn't know what to do, it's good to have me in the room, because like I'm the one who understands the language of a lyricist and also the language of a producer. So it's like I can be like the in-between man, you know, just helping out, you know, throwing a couple of lines or maybe just help with the harmonies. But at the same time, I also understand what a producer wants in terms of arrangement and everything. So yeah, you know, it's like a bit of everything. So it's like a superpower.
Yeah.
Even I felt like it was gonna be a challenge, but it's great. Yeah.
Have you ever come across anybody that's tried to keep you in the producer box? I feel like that's kind of a thing. Once the producer starts to stretch out from that, people are like, no, stick to whatever. Did that ever happen, or was it like a pretty welcoming experience?
Oh boy.
Oh, am I opening something up right now?
Nah, yo, it was tough. Cause like, you know what's funny is that when I started and I first dropped Girls Like You, I don't know if I ever told you this. There's a popular producer from back in the day. His name is Magnum.
Okay.
He has one of the highest streamed songs in like Ghanaian history. And like he called me on the phone. He was like, bro, you just became an artist? I'm like, yeah. He was like, my guy, I'm gonna have to sit you down. Like you are about to go through hell. Nobody's gonna wanna
At least
think.
someone's warning you.
Yeah,
Like,
nobody's not gonna think you're an artist, my guy. And I didn't think it was anything, but yo, it's tough. Like I'll literally meet people, and then like they were trying to introduce me to somebody else, and they know I just dropped an EP or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this damn's the producer,
right.
man. Plays
Yeah.
good beats, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Well, yeah, and that's. I feel like artists are
Yeah.
very hungry. It's like, oh, you're a producer. Give me all your, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
I can be more than that.
It's like people invite me to the studio and they just want me to play beats, not even like make a beat, play me beats. And I'm like, I feel like I'm more than that. But you know, it's like I also recognize that sometimes you have to show people your work a little bit.
Okay.
You know, it's like you can't expect all the time everyone to just, oh, he's an artist, You know, I guess people haven't heard too much about what I'm about, because when they do, then they stop calling me a producer. You know, they're
Yeah,
like,
right,
"Man, you're
right.
more of an
Yeah,
artist." So
yeah.
yeah, like
They hear Coca-Cola. Like, I don't know how you can't not. Like, I don't know. That's.
yeah, and I try. That song is raw. Even,
Yeah.
In fact, that song is one of the shifts in my career as an artist, because people have stopped calling me a producer after that song dropped.
Wow.
Because they were
Really?
like the harmonies and the lyricism is like
awesome.
on a different level from what like I did, you know, years before. So
And like I said, just being from the north and it's cold right now, a song like that just gets me so excited for summer and warmer weather. So I appreciate that. Could we see you potentially going down the artist path? Are you very comfortable within just producing? That's what you want to hone your craft in.
you're giving me a lot of things to think about. But I mean, for now, I'm just a producer.
Yeah.
I'm diving into the DJ scene as well.
Cool. Very cool.
I just want to see what is going on over there. For now, I'm enjoying the producer scene, and you never know. Probably in a couple of years, we'll see where I'm at.
Yeah, you always can keep the options open. And I will say, yeah, I don't want to sound like, oh, being just a producer is bad, because oh my gosh, that's a lot of work, and that takes a lot of patience and a lot of time to hone in on your craft. And if I can go back to your craft and kind of peel back the curtain a little bit on your artistic process, I know you've talked about the fact that you can't read music, but you can see there's like some synesthesia there. Can you talk about that? Because I find that concept so interesting. And is it something where you'll hear something and a color just resonates with you and you kind of work off of that, or how does that work for you exactly?
Yeah, so it's more like every time I hear a song, I see colors, or like a range, a spectrum of colors.
Mm-hmm.
So like, for example, when I hear C, I can kind of like picture yellow, bright colors, stuff like that. When I hear G, I think of blue.
Okay.
When I hear E, I think of like maybe more brownish tone. So because I play guitar, obviously I know the basics of like music theory, like where the notes are, and I think that helped. But from a young age, even playing for the church, everyone would have their sheet in front of them during rehearsal, and I would just have learned everything just because I have the colors. Oh, okay, it sounds like a little blue, so we're at G now.
Oh wow.
You feel me?
Okay.
So yeah, and that's how I would do it. And every time they're always asking me like, yo, you don't read sheet, like what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Eventually, I met my music teacher. She's Italian, Miss Pederzoli, and I explained to her what was happening, and then she told me that no, it's normal. There are a lot of musicians that don't know how to read. They just use the colors they see in their head, and I should make sure I keep it. I ended up winning like music prizes in school. All the kids knew how to read music. I didn't. I was just messing around with my guitar, and then I'd write songs, and that's it. So, I mean, like, that's why I believe that music is not just like pen and paper. It's very like spiritual. I don't really understand this weird thing that I've got. I hear music, I see colors, man. Like, but it's definitely there.
Yeah.
I used to doubt it, but I met other people who also say that they operate the same way, and it works for me because when I'm in the studio, I'm like 4 years ago. Sometimes we would place bets. We'd be like, okay, guess the key of this song, and I'd be like, G. I'm like, how the fuck did he do that? And everyone would be putting their money down. I'm just like,
no way.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I haven't done it in a while, but I'm sure I can still do it.
It sounds like it. You can just kind of pull it out of nowhere, and it still works for you.
I can even tune my guitar without like, without hearing anything else.
An innate thing, which is really cool. And I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. And I hope you continue to do what works for you down the road. Is there anything we can expect out of you guys in the future? What's on your guys' radar ahead of performing today, and what comes after that?
I mean, performing today, we got like a couple of new songs we want to preview. We want to test out to the crowd. We're making music more like for like this audience, an international audience of people. So we're trying to see how that comes across. Over the couple of months, we have like collabs we're trying to drop together. Cool. As well, and also my next EP, it's a very serious project, dear to my heart. We worked on it together. Almost every song has our mark on it. Most of the songs produced by him. So we're excited for people to hear it. It's summer music, and we're dropping it right before the summer.
That's very exciting, because that'll almost reach a 2-year mark to the Young EP coming out. So that's excited for a new EP out of you guys. And you guys have worked on that together?
Yeah, and actually we're working on a joint project too. We're just putting down demos till we figure out the clear direction, but we're working on a joint EP. We don't have a name for ourselves yet, but we're inspired by the Neptunes. Some people
Very
like
cool.
the Neptunes, so that's what we're trying to do, a little Pharrell and Chad type shit,
So eventually, I mean, the name will come up. If you have any suggestions as well, you can throw it in there. We'll try and pick out a name and see what's up with that. But yeah, as he said, we have a number of stuff coming out this year, and we're kind of like really excited for this year. So probably next year you see us back again, bigger and better,
As always, right? Thank you guys so much for taking the time. Any parting words, any words of wisdom you want to leave us off with today?
Just follow your lead, man. That's what got us here. I mean, a lot of people didn't think we could come to South by Southwest what we're doing, but we out here, you know, and we have a lot promised for the world. So please do check up on us. You know what I mean? Me and my boy Uche B.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, final words, don't forget Young Dems. Don't forget Uche B. We're coming.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you guys. I appreciate your time.